Hey y'all, welcome to episode 3 of my 7 Days to Die survival series. And last episode we came to these set of apartments and we got this one right here fortified to be a house. And when we got here we only actually searched 3 of the 5 apartment buildings for loot. And so I'm coming over to check these other 2, and then the rest of this episode is actually dedicated to looting. And if you can recall, I'm actually looking for some extra guns. So I'm going to kill the zombie right here. Gotcha. So I'm actually specifically looking for the sniper rifle and for the rocket launcher, because I think it'd be a lot of fun to have those, and those seem like really sweet guns and seem like a lot of fun. But also just out looking for loot that I can place in kind of some safe houses until I'm able to build a base. And so if you recall, what I want to do is have 3 safe houses around the map. So one here in the apartment building that I've got. Then I'm also going to have one at one of the houses in the little town, and then another one down south, more towards the industrial area. And the reason for that is just so that wherever I am in the game, whatever I'm doing, I have a place to go where I can get all the things I need, including food, weapons, shelter, all of that. And ultimately what I'm planning to do is build my own base. And I'm actually planning to build it similar to what a lot of other people have done. But in the meantime, I need to have a place where I have everything that I need. Or a few places where I have everything that I need. Now, concerning a base that I want to build, I don't know if you guys have seen some of the other bases that people have built on this game, but it seems like probably one of the best methods is to have is to first build a small little base that's got a lot of good reinforced walls that I can use as kind of a hub and a place that'll keep me safe from zombies. And then during the daytime, I'll actually come outside of that and build like a perimeter wall around my little base so that I could be protected, of course. And during the nighttime, when I need to run away from the zombies and I'm not finished with my perimeter wall, I'll have that small little building that I can run to. And that'll keep me safe until my perimeter wall is done. Now, similar to a lot of other people, I want to also build kind of a small building outside of the perimeter that's, again, reinforced, that leads to a tunnel that goes underneath the perimeter wall up into the interior of my base. So that's the plan. But I recognize that it's going to take a little while because I need to collect all the materials and I need to get everything ready in order to do that. So as I run along here, you'll notice that I actually do a lot of editing of this video, because I want to cut out all of the places where I'm just running along the road. So I'm just checking here to make sure I know where I want to go. I want to make my way to the south side of the map. So I'm going to get running down that way and then eventually make it back up to that, that little town, but I don't think I'll do that until the next episode. So in the meantime, gotta get some meat. Come here, dear. Give me some meat. Got it. Sweet. So I had the hardest time getting this deer's meat. For some reason, every time I moved a little bit, it said gut stag, and I couldn't do it, so I just got frustrated and shot the thing. And then I thought he disappeared, but then I noticed that, no, he just moved. But it was good, I got all the meat that I needed. Anyway, so something about this game, it's compared to Minecraft because you're able to build and mine and do all of that stuff. But to be honest, I haven't really found that part being that enjoyable. And I think the reason for that is because in Minecraft it's very easy to mine and to build, and especially for mining there's no gravity. And but in this game, when you're mining, it takes a lot of effort. The easiest way to mine is actually to use the barrels and to create giant holes in the ground by exploding them out. But using a pickaxe, it actually takes a really long time. And I actually really enjoy the survival aspect of this game much more than the building and the mining, right? But I understand that you do need to mine for, you know, all the materials that you need to really build a base, to build a strong base. But just concerning the act of mining and building, I really I enjoy that personally much more in Minecraft. And I'm not necessarily comparing this directly to Minecraft. I just haven't really done it much in this one because it takes a little bit more work, a little bit more time, a little bit more effort to do all that. But granted, I do eventually need to get to that to build my base. So at some point I of course will. And I think when I do, I'll probably do a little bit of recording for the mining. Probably majority of the recording I do in that process will be the building of my base, and most of that again is just because I don't want to bore you guys with stuff. Instead, I want to focus on, you know, the fun gameplay, which is the survival aspect of this game. So you'll notice I'm coming up on a factory here. Now I noticed when I was playing this before in another game that tower that you just saw, that really tall tower, on the other side of where this door is that you see, there's a ladder that leads all the way up to the top. And in just a moment I'm going to kind of go look inside and kind of look up very briefly, and you can see how high up it is. And up at the very top there's this very small kind of walkway that rings the inside of this tower. Now, just a word of caution, be super duper careful if you climb the ladder and go to the top. What I did was I climbed the ladder, I went all the way up to the top, up to where that little red walkway is, and when I got up there, started kind of walking around the rim, and it gave out underneath me, and I dropped all the way down to the bottom. Not so fun. So definitely be super duper careful if you go up in that thing. If you want to use it, I was planning on using it as like a place to store all of my stuff and to be safe from zombies because it's up a ladder. But ultimately, like I said, I fell and died, so it didn't end up helping me at all. So anyway, just be careful if you're going to do that. Try and find a way maybe to reinforce it so that you don't fall, or maybe take all the stuff out of your tool belt so in case you do fall, you don't lose all the stuff that you have, because that stuff is vital to living. So another aspect of this is every time I come to one of these factories, I see how dark it is in there. I get like terrified to go in and do anything because, first of all, there's tons of zombies, and second of all, in the dark, as you'll see, they can run. When they come running after you, it's like terrifying. A lot of times when they come running after you, they kind of zigzag in funky ways, and so they're hard to hit when you're shooting at them. And so they come up to you and then they start punching you. And I tell you what, when they get right next to you and they start hitting you when they're running, and they like do all this crazy zigzag weirdness stuff, like they multiple times they have almost killed me because I can't hit them. Because I try shooting at them, and I keep missing them because they're zigzagging out of my way. Anyway, so as you see, just try and take care of these guys, you know, before I go in. And then I lay down a lot of torches when I am inside. Now, I mentioned last episode I wasn't sure if torches actually slowed down zombies when they got in the torchlight, and I found in this that they do. So my recommendation is, if you're going inside any place dark where there could be zombies, I highly recommend laying down torches as you go. Now you may say, well, I don't need to lay down torches unless I know there's zombies in there. But I found as I was going throughout this place in particular, and then another factory that I found, that as I went along, sometimes zombies would sneak up behind me. And that was no bueno, because I couldn't hear them until they were almost upon me. I turn around and then they'd be like charging at me full force. But as soon as they got into the light of the torch, they slowed down. So it actually saves me a couple times. So highly recommend doing that. So anyway, back to my my base. I think it's probably going to take me a little while to gather all of the materials for it, which I'll probably do mostly off camera. And then as I build it, I'll show you guys kind of how I want to build it, some thoughts that I have, and what I can do to really make it kind of cool. But in the meantime, I definitely recommend going out and seeing what other people have done, because there's a lot of really cool ideas out there on how to build a base. One of the things that I've seen people do is, instead of building their own fort from scratch, they will actually reinforce a house or an apartment building. Kind of like I started to do in my apartment building up in the northwest area. The only drawback to that is that you're kind of stuck with all of the the way that the building is laid out, and having to try and find your own way of getting inside and dealing with zombies and all that stuff, and moving things around, and I don't know. Anyway, it just seems like if you build it from scratch, you can really have everything that you want. But in the meantime, it is nice to reinforce what's already been made. So just because that seems easier, something that's already built. Anyway, moving on. So, a couple things about 7 Days to Die to pass on. One is there are some really awesome updates coming in the next alpha version. So alpha version 1.1 includes some really neat features, and I actually just got an email, I think yesterday or maybe the day before, from Fun Pimps, the guys that made this game. So it was actually a Kickstarter update, and they sent it along just saying, hey guys, thanks for everything, for all of your support, and we got some sweet updates coming, wanted to let you know about. So really excited to kind of share a couple of those with you, a couple of things that I'm super duper excited about. In the meantime, I could not figure out how to get rid of these stupid little barbed wire fences, so I tried, of course, to knock out the bottom and then to do it, and it was not a very smart idea. So for those of you wondering how to get these things out of your way, use your pickaxe. Hit it once or twice and the thing will be out of your way. So I found that out, unfortunately, the hard way of walking into the thing, but now you know. Anyway, so a couple of the items that I'm most excited about for the update that's coming. Let's see, we've got, so the first one is 6-player consumer co-op and multiplayer. So I have tried to join some servers that I've found, and unfortunately have been unable to do so. I don't know if they're whitelisted or what. And I've watched some people online kind of show you how to do a server from your computer on 7 Days to Die, but at least for me, when I've watched it, it seems super duper complicated and much more than I know how to do or really care to try. I don't really want to mess anything up. I'm one of those people that, I like mods and stuff for games, but only if they're really easy to add. So doing my own server from my computer isn't going to really happen. I did find one place that allows you to rent a server, but it's like $28 a month, and I'm not really interested in spending that much on like a 4-person server. So I'm really excited to see what comes of this 6-player consumer co-op and multiplayer. I'm hoping that it's a very easy way to join each other in the game, even if it's just LAN, like if you know somebody's IP address and you can just join them, that would be kind of neat. But I guess we'll see. I'm just hoping it's easier. Another part about that is the better dedicated server support. So I think that has to do with servers that people make on their own computers, but I'm not sure. And I'm hoping that dedicated server support means that more companies can offer server options for renting or for using, kind of whatever, so that those of us who don't want to spend gobs of money on the server can have a way to play. So these stupid ladders, I always struggle knowing, just staying on track going up this thing. So this is actually at the top of the factory. I've just been exploring it, and I went up level by level. I cut out a lot of that because it was honestly just me going up every level trying to collect as much stuff as I could, as much loot as I could. And at this factory, I was hoping that maybe there was a sniper rifle or rocket launcher. Unfortunately, there was neither. But there were a bunch of zombies to use as target practice. Also up at the top, around kind of the outside of that little tower that I was just on, there was a ring of kind of metal sheeting type stuff. And I actually knocked down a lot of that to collect a lot of the metal, but it was a long and arduous process that I didn't want to have to make you guys watch. So for the most part, in this factory, I've run around, put down a lot of torches so that I can easily keep track of where everything is, and so that the zombies don't run after me. And then I decided, hey, all these zombies, great opportunity for some target practice. And one thing I do like about this game is the pistol is actually really effective if you get a headshot. Now, headshots are the easiest thing, and of course this little thing's going to get in my way as I'm shooting. They're not the easiest thing, but if you're able to get a headshot, it's actually nice, easy way to conserve ammo and to take out all these zombies. Now, from what I've noticed, at least from my experience, it seems like the regular zombies, you can, at almost any distance, you can knock them out with one headshot. The bigger guys, if you're close enough to them, it seems like you can get them with a headshot. But if you're farther away from them, it can take like 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 headshots. So just a heads up, if you're trying to clear out some zombies, I do think that the distance affects the power of the gun that you're using. Excuse me. So anyway, just doing a little bit of target practice here as I kind of clear out this building a little bit. So another one of the updates that's going to be coming is several item duplication bug fixes. So I'm not really sure what that means. I imagine it's maybe that there's a lot of the same item in when you go to pick up loot. And one of the things that I think I mentioned before that I'm really hoping comes in one of these updates is like respawn loot. So when I was up in my apartment building that you saw, when I was up there before in another game, there was a lot of really great weaponry there. But this time there wasn't. There were some pistols and a little bit of machine gun stuff, some shotgun stuff, but ultimately no sniper rifle or rocket launcher, which is what I really, really wanted. And what would be nice is if you go to these different loot spawn points, so if you go to a car, you go to a building, if you clear out all the loot in a certain place, I'm hoping they make it so that the loot respawns in that location. That would be like really, really nice. So I'm hoping that they do that, because that'll make it a lot easier to clear out a place, go do some other things, come back later, and find some more great loot that I didn't find before. And especially since, I can imagine when we get to the point where we're running out of food, I have to go out hunting. I know that I'll have to, at some point, I'm sure, do some actual farming. But I'd like to avoid that as much as I can. I know that I can't avoid it completely, but if I can avoid it, for the most part, that'd be kind of nice. Granted, if I can't, then you just got to do it. But it seems, on this game, a lot like it is a lot different than Minecraft as far as the farming goes. Because on Minecraft, you plant the things, and you can walk all over them, and they're fine. Da 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 da. They grow, then you eat them, or you turn the weed into bread or whatever. And here, it seems like you can plant a lot of things, but if the zombies run past it or through it, it actually ruins it. If you ever seen the zombies run through the cornfields, it actually they'll ruin the corn. And it would stink to go plant all that just to have zombies running through it back and forth, chasing after a deer or something, and you losing all of your corn. So that's just my thoughts. So I'm hoping that there's some way for the loot to respawn. So anyway, I'm at this second factory. I want to do similar to the other factory I was just at, which is get in here, clear out the zombies, and loot the place as clean as I can. And similar to the other place, I didn't find any... Let's see, man, those zombies come running after you, and it's scary. I didn't find any sniper rifle or rocket launcher. Didn't really find much by way of food or water. I found a little bit, but for the most part it was industrial materials, things that I can build with. A lot of scrap metal that I can use, which is kind of nice. And, you know, some various miscellaneous items. But for the most part, my whole looting experience was more about killing all the zombies, which is more fun anyway. So finally, one of the last updates that's coming is the zombie stair pathing will be improved, which I'm super excited about, because it kills me that these zombies, when they come running up the stairs, that it's so sporadic that you start shooting at them, you can't hit them, and what you do end up doing is knocking out the floor down at the end of your stairs, whether that's here in one of these buildings or in a house. You end up knocking all that out, because that's what you're hitting with the bullets rather than the zombies. So hopefully they kind of get that worked out as well. But again, we'll see. And that's the thing about Alpha is, you know, I don't know how many versions of Alpha they're planning to do, but I imagine over the next 6 months or so, it's just going to be probably, an update every month or two, you know, with some things. And you know, every set of developers is different. Some of them are open to, you know, ideas as well as tell me what bugs you find and we'll fix them. Others just want to know about the bugs. They don't want really any ideas. And so I'm not really sure yet how the fun pimps like to do things. I'm hoping it's the latter, where they're open to ideas as well as hearing about bugs. But if not, that's okay. It's their game, their build. And they can only do so much, and they can only add in so much, and they can only please so many people, because they can't please everybody. It's the way of the game, unfortunately. My goodness, my throat's really dry. So, you know, as far as other things that I've got going on, for those of you that are watching my Minecraft Hardcore series, I got another episode coming out here pretty soon. I'm also starting a Survival Island series that I'm really excited about, so be looking for that on my channel. And then there's definitely going to be some more Arma 3 gameplay. I've done a little bit of DayZ, but haven't really gotten a whole lot of good footage. I mean, even the places that I join that have a lot of people, just haven't had a lot of good footage lately. So don't have much by way of gameplay for DayZ, but I do have some fun Arma 3 Wasteland gameplay that'll be coming up pretty soon. And, you know, I'll continue doing my 7 Days to Die. In the next episode, I do a little bit more looting, but I decided to kind of have some fun with my looting setup and situation as I'm running around. And, in fact, to try and take down one of those towers outside one of these factory buildings. So, excited to show you guys that. And, in the meantime, hope that you guys enjoyed this game. Hope you guys are doing well. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let your friends know about it. Excuse me. If you guys have any recommendations or suggestions for what you would like to see in this game, or